Alright, Memorial Day 2015. It is the flea market day. I did 3 flea markets today, 2 large ones and 1 small one. And we have a variety of items. I did not find any firearms today. That's alright. I found enough other things. You don't always find firearms, and I collect things other than that. Being that it's Memorial Day, the first things my eyes lit on at one of the flea markets was this. This is a burial flag. This is presented by a grateful nation to a veteran's family at the time of their demise. It's draped over their coffin, it's folded up, it's placed in the hands of the wife, the son, whatever, and it's supposed to be shadow boxed and proudly displayed in somebody's home. Not sold at a flea market like this one was, with little holes ripped in the protective cover the funeral home provides. You can see the name of the funeral home's right there. So somebody really didn't seem to give a damn. You can see there's animal hairs all over it, so I guess it was a bed for a small dog or a cat for a while. Real nice, real respectful. You know, I hate seeing this, and I see it all the time. Family just does not give a shit, apparently, and they just let it go. Sell it at the flea market for a few bucks, why not? That's what we care about, our relative service. Well, here it is. Now, I'm going to put it in a shadow box and display it properly after it's been cleaned. But that was one find. And we have this little compass here. Now this is fairly, almost 100% certain is made in India. You know, these sign compasses, whatever, and this one's a little bit damaged, but I'm going to play with it, see what I can do with it. Maybe I can actually make it work. If nothing else, it looks nice on the shelf, and I didn't pay much for it. I think the brass value alone is worth more than what I paid, so that's all right. And we found a nice American lock company hardened steel lock with both of its keys. A word about locks: there's good locks and there's crap locks. This is not a crap lock. This is a very expensive, heavy-duty lock that is actually, I believe, no longer made in this country. It's made in some cheap third-world country now, and it's not what it used to be, but this is a real American-made heavy-duty steel lock. And they are of value when you find them, and worth having. You're not going to get through that, cut it, or chisel it, or snap it too easy. Not that shank. That's good quality steel. And I found this. Whoops, it's upside down. A Victorinox clock, Swiss Army, for $1 whole. A brand new in the box, even had a new battery. Swiss Army clock, yeah. They give these away, I think, with Swiss Army knives, some Swiss Army knives. But it's a nice quality, battery-operated alarm clock. It's a German movement. Even though it says Swiss Army, it's a German movement. And, you know, it's a really nice one and brand new, and it's good to have. Keep around where you need to tell time, maybe. I'm going to put this in the barn so I can always tell what time it is when I'm down there working. So we'll put that in there. It's got a nice box with it, brand new. $1. You can't beat that. I'll hold. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Zippo lighters. Each one of them about $5 to $8, including the engraved ones. One of them's got a loose. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. It's got a loose pin right there in the pivot. So that one is going to be sent back to Bradford, Pennsylvania, and Zippo will replace it or repair it. I've had several repaired already for free. They'll put a new hinge in there, and it'll be as good as new. You can't beat a Zippo lighter. It's a man's lighter, not a cheap plastic piece of crap. And if you work with a torch or welder, you don't ever put one of those cheap plastic pieces of shit in your pocket, because it's like having a time bomb in there. One piece of hot slag hits it, you've got a hole in your chest. But not with a Zippo. Zippos work. They work all the time and forever as long as you keep fluid in them. And then we have this. This is a German K98 bayonet, World War II. Dated, well, first I'm going to show you that this is actually a matching number bayonet. Imagine that. Well, it's backwards. 2064. 2064. You can see 1940. It's pretty much has its full blue. Perfect handle. Waffen-ups are right there in place. Not all buggered up. See if I can get it out of the sheath without cutting myself. Got a little bit of crap on it. That's grease, not rust. Look at that blade. Full blue blade. And you don't want to know what I paid for this, because it wasn't much. The guy who had it just simply did not know what he had. That's the second year in a row on Flea Market Sunday I found German bayonet. Last year I found 2 of them. Not as nice as this one, though. Okay. Now, we have these. These are K-bars. These were the issue knife of the U.S. military in World War II. These are commemorative blades. These are real American-made K-bars. These are not the cheap foreign-made knockoffs. These are the real deal. Good quality, high quality American steel made right in here in New York, actually. Never used. This one is Korean War. This one is Pearl Harbor. These ones have sheaths. These ones over here have a slight amount of rust on them. I don't have to worry about. See if I can get one of them out of the sheath and show you what it is. We have United States Navy, 1941 to 1991. Believe it or not, I did not pay more than, I think it was $12 each for these. And these were, I believe, around $9 each. You cannot even buy one in the catalogs for that anywhere that I know of it. These are all American-made blades. These are not those fantasy knife pieces of shit made from crappy steel that bends and doesn't hold an edge. These will hold an edge. High quality steel. If you know anything about knives, you know the difference between a cheap piece of crap and something that isn't. This isn't. It's a real fighting knife. A good one. A K-bar. Why the guy was selling them so cheap, I have no idea. He was cleaning out his house. He had a whole table full of junk, and he had these. So you know what? I said, I'm not really a knife collector, but for a K-bar, at that price, I will make an exception. Maglite. 2-cell. Basic flashlight. Hard to beat these. They last forever. You can drop them, throw them, whack somebody upside the head. They keep on ticking. Got to put some batteries in there. And we found... Whoops, almost dropped the hat. And we found some gasoline can and a kerosene can. If you notice, these are the... they're brand new. The two of them together were $5. They have real spouts on them. They have vents. The new cans do not have vents, and they are junk. I can't stand the damn things, but these, you can pour them normally. You pop open the vent. You know, it's a nice flow of fuel out of there. Never a problem. The new ones were redesigned to get rid of the vent. Apparently, they were afraid of spills or whatever the reason, stupid reason was. You can't beat that, though. Brand new, old-style cans with the vent for $5. I will buy those all day long because I really do hate the new-style ones. And next on the list, we have a Soviet submarine clock. Fully functional. These were imported into the U.S. in the early 1990s and sold through various catalogs that handle Eastern European type souvenirs. You can see this one is actually Soviet mark, CCCP right on it. It's identical to one that I bought back then at that time, which I use. I'm going to put this one somewhere. It works fine. It's got its pedestal still on it. And I was amazed to find that it's sticking. It's in good shape. I do know somebody who can clean them for me, but I don't like to bother him with that unless it's absolutely necessary, but this one's working. Been a while since I saw one. Little Gerber knife. I got this for free with these. You know, it's a little worn, but it's a Gerber. It's a good blade. Always good to have a few extra lying around. Now, we have some helmets. And I'm not sure of this helmet. I have to look it up. I'm not a helmet collector. I don't really get involved with helmets too much, but when they're really cheap, I will buy them. This one is probably Romanian or Czech. I have to look. It's in good shape. You know, a few little dings, dents, a bit of discoloration. That's not rust, by the way. That appears to be some sort of paint under there. They have the liners, so I'll put that in my commie helmet pile. I seem to have several of them now. East German, Russian, what have you. This one, however, is American. I have to look it up to see exactly what period. It might be Korea, early Vietnam, World War II, I don't know. It's got the sand finish, olive drab paint. You know, it's got the full liner. So we'll have a look at that later and see what I can find out about it. But for the price, you know, we're talking 30 bucks for this. I see these on eBay all the time. They want $50, $60. And at most of the shows around here, you're not going to touch one of these for under about 65, 70 bucks. I don't know why they're so expensive now, but they are. Used to be the cheapest helmet around, was in a USGI piss pot. It was no problem. World War II veteran cap. That's for the old man. He is a World War II veteran. It is Memorial Day. He managed to lose his last cap, so he's got a new one coming. There we go. He was 44th Division during the war, and he was combat infantry. And, of course, I always have to resupply on sockets. Why? Because I lose sockets all the time, and frankly at the flea market I can get whole sets of sockets cheaper than I can go to Sears and buy the 5 or 6 that I need. It's ridiculous, but that's the way it is. You know, we got some extensions and whatnot. Always good to have to fill in my missing slots there. Most of this crap is metric for the, you know, the modern cars I have to work on sometimes. And let's see, I think that about covers it. That's our flea market Sunday. K-bars. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 helmets, a clock, flashlight, 4 Zippos, 1 German bayonet, 1 lock, 1 little blade there, 1 burial flag, small clock, and this weird little compass thing, and the gas cans. So that's it. Until the next flea market Sunday.